What's up, guys? On today's episode of Bourbon Budz, we're going to do a blind tasting. We have three different samples where we have no idea what it is, but we're going to sit here and we're going to judge them based on what we think personally. Now, there are good odds that the three of us don't agree on what's better than what else, but we're going to rank them based on what we think. Now, that being said, we typically do bourbon reviews. Blind reviews are our favorite because the price doesn't matter, the color doesn't matter, the age profile doesn't matter. The mash bill doesn't matter.
The name brand doesn't matter.
None of it matters. Our judgment is strictly based on how we like it. So again, we have Mr. Robb Marcus here on the show.
So, as you can see from our last episode of Blind Tasting, it was way out in left field compared to what we thought it was going to be when we finally revealed what we actually tasted.
The fact is when you don't know what it tastes like, you don't know what name brand it is, and you don't know what it costs, it changes your perspective slightly on everything you try. This is fortunately Mr. Robb Marcus's first blind tasting, and we hope that he gets the reaction that we think he's going to have for you guys.
I'm really excited because this is the first blind taste I've tried. Listening to their previous cast, it's going to be a new experience for me. So hopefully I'll match up with these guys.
All right, guys. So in this blind tasting, you'll notice we have three different glasses. We have no idea what is what, but what we hope to do is judge them based on how we like them. Now, keep in mind that between myself, Mr. Robb, and Mr. John, we all have three very different palates. Myself liking some of the hotter, more barrel-proof stuff. Mr. John liking some of the lighter, more bare minimum type stuff, more easy drinking stuff, and Mr. Robb being right in the middle. So, that being said, not knowing what we're fixing to taste, we're going to give you a very honest review based on what we taste, what we smell, and how we feel about these three different pours.
All right, guys, here we go with our first pour.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So off the nose, before I taste anything, I can tell you it smells like it's a little hot. It smells like it's got a little body to it. It might be a barrel proof. I may be wrong. I've tasted a few that are not barrel proof that smell that way, but this smells like it's a barrel proof.
I think it's a cask proof.
I'm getting a good barrel smell.
Something I don't think I've had before.
It's kind of got a spicy smell to it to me.
It's got a little heat on the palate.
It's a Chet.
It's my kind of pick, and I can sit here and I can bash the fact that it's hot, but that's hard for me because I like that. It's spicy, but it's not overwhelmingly spicy. It's got a little sweetness. So the palate is completely different than the nose. Right. Would you agree?
I agree.
I feel like the nose is spicier than the palate is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a little leather, and that's just my take on it.
It's got an earthy taste. And when I say earthy, I don't mean the fresh grass clipping.
Right.
What I do mean is it's definitely oaky. It's definitely got a little age to it. Now, I'm saying that in confidence. The fact is you can taste some barrel. I don't believe it's a double oak or triple oak. What I do believe is it's got some age, and I believe it's a barrel strength. Very few standard 4 to 6 year bourbons I've tried that had that barrel proof taste like this. I believe that's barrel proof, but I have no idea. We'll see. I'll give it one more sip.
I'm gonna go ahead and take a guess. I'm gonna take a guess and say it's a bullet bourbon. That's my guess.
I'm gonna let you sit on that bullet because I couldn't disagree more. So we're gonna taste. We're gonna take a sip of our water because you can't taste between bourbons without getting a fresh palate.
I think it's cask strength or barrel.
Make sure you save enough in your glass to go back and revisit because it's gonna be important to rank.
I'm on about my third sip. So,
that's the most important one.
Yeah,
it really is.
I don't drink enough bourbons to tell you which one it may be. Haven't tried all yours. I don't think it's bullet, but it's definitely a keeper. I would drink this.
I would. So to me, it's close to an Elijah Craig, but like we've done the Elijah Craig B524 in the past, and it was hot. It's really to me, it felt hotter than this. It very similar profile, but I feel like it was hotter than this.
If you gave me a chance, I'd say it was Elijah Craig barrel strength. Is what I would.
Now I do own not only do I own the A124, the B524, I own a B522. I also own two different store selects, private barrels at a cash strength. And it's been a while since I've hit either one. So, look, I could be wrong. It feels like an Elijah Craig to me.
So now that y'all say that, taking another sip, it has that Elijah Craig taste. Not 100% sure, because I kind of get a bullet taste, but now that they say an Elijah Craig, I kind of taste it.
So, that being said, in the rocks glass, here's pour number 2. Now, make sure you guys save a little bit because we got to come back and revisit. Pour number 2. Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh. So the nose,
I'm
to
gonna
me,
enjoy this.
it's got a good caramel nose.
Oh, no, but that's good. No, that's different, and that is good.
This is right up my alley.
That is good.
I don't know what it is, but I like it already.
That is good.
Wow.
That's got a very robust flavor.
So I'm gonna say caramel to the nose to me.
Yes.
You know, I bypassed the nose, and I did that because I just finished smelling glass 1. It's got a very robust flavor.
Say molasses.
It's got a thick, creamy feel, but it's got a very earthy. I say earthy, oaky. It's a very oaky feel.
Smell.
That is
caramel.
delicious.
I'm gonna.
Smells caramel. Smells sweet. Taste. It's a little hot to me.
I haven't tasted it yet, but I'm gonna throw old school bean syrup smell to me.
I'll give you that. That's a
caramel,
very good representation.
Caramel syrup.
What I will say is that caught me off guard. Dude, I don't find that hot at all.
And this is hot to me.
Drinking with John, I can see where it's hot, but it's medium to me. It's right.
It's right there.
It's right there.
It's almost that hot spot. It's that hey, I'm getting that spice, but I'm not overwhelmed with the spice.
My wife Ashley can make this and be happy with it.
No offense, John.
No offense.
Honestly, look, I like spicy.
It's hot.
I like hot. That
It has
is
an earthy flavor to me.
that's very
It's
enjoyable.
good. It's good.
That's very
Just gonna
good.
say,
Make sure you save a little bit in your glass because we got to come back and revisit it.
save it.
We get a little bit.
I hate to do this because I don't want to sit down and say that I can point it out. I can't point that out. That is similar to the horse soldier. It resembles the horse soldier. I feel like it's not the horse soldier. What I can say is flavor profile. It's close. It's very earthy. It's got that little nut flavor on the back end, but it's spicy in a good way. It's not hot. It's not, oh my God, my mouth burns. It is, hey, I'm here, and I'm here for the long haul. It tastes great. You disagree, and that's okay.
No, I don't disagree. I'm shaking my head because I wouldn't even know what to guess right now. I
would disagree.
I can't even give you it may taste like this.
I can't. I can't. Horse soldier is the only thing that brings.
So I can say it's something I've never tried before. I'm convinced of that.
It doesn't taste like horse soldier to me at all.
It's sweeter.
It is a little sweeter than horse soldier. That's a fact.
Something I will drink again once I find out what it is.
Absolutely, that is definitely a good pour.
That's
it's a
the
great
you
pour.
drink it for me. If I have
It is.
I want to guess, but I have no guess. I have nothing that is comparable to what I just tasted. And I did just like you. I looked at the shelf. I did.
So for all of you out there looking, we can look at the shelf and say, hey.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say Bardstown. Something I haven't had from Bardstown yet is what I'm gonna say, because I had Bardstown in Kentucky. Seems to me in that profile, maybe completely wrong, but
It does have that blended flavor. It feels like, so most of Bardstown products are blended. It has that blended flavor where it's got that sweetness from the blended because you mix in a couple products, but in the same breath, it's close. It's borderline cask strength, and I firmly believe that that's a cask strength bourbon.
okay.
And I say that because most of the bourbons I've tried at the 80 proof are really, really light.
I'm missing that, but it may be. I can honestly say I'm convinced it's something I haven't tried before.
Well, the good news.
The crazy thing is so before you say anything, it's like I have nothing to compare it to. And then you start talking about Bardstown. You start putting that image in my mind, and now I'm tasting it, and I'm like, wait, there's a Bardstown I tasted that kind of tastes like this. So I'm gonna revisit it.
Just make sure you keep some. Firmly believe it's not a Bardstown, and
No.
I'm saying that because I've tried 7 or 8 different Bardstowns,
No.
and Bardstown has a very distinct flavor to me. Like, don't get me
It's
wrong,
not a Bardstown. I don't think
good.
it's a Bardstown.
I've never tried
Could
a
be.
bad Bardstown, but it's very distinct to me. It has that blended flavor. This has that blended flavor, but I think it's on the sweet side.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a Penelope.
You know, that's a good guess because
I'ma say
Penelope has
Penelope.
some good
I'm gonna
points.
say Penelope, and I'm gonna go with the Valencia. That's kind of what I'm feeling right
It's a
now.
good
with
guess. What I will say is, before we get too deep into it, we got a whole nother one to try.
That. Yep.
So, get your water. So, guys, number 3, here's what we can tell you is 1 and 2 have been not only almost impossible to pinpoint what it is, they have both been really good pours.
Yep.
Normally, in my situation, I can kill the glass because I know by tasting it, hey, look, I'm going to rank. That's not the case. 1 and 2 have been neck and neck. Number 3 here could be.
Trying to get a head start.
So the only thing I'm gonna add it to, since I'm a new guy, I would, after this, I will get 1 and 2 in my collection if I can.
Right. And you know, and that's the good thing about the blinds is we shop bourbon daily, weekly. And when I say daily, you know, if friends of ours reach out and say, hey, this is available, we're looking. But weekly, most of us go out and say, hey, what can we find? It's not always the Buffalo Trace, the Eagle Rare, the Weller, the E.H. Taylor. Sometimes it's the Peerless. Sometimes it's the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Rye. Sometimes it's the shit that's sitting on the shelf that we just don't see at our normal stores. So that being said, here's pour number 3. Again, we're going to come back. We're going to revisit because honestly, 1 and 2 has been a close race. And we're going to rank the bourbons based on our judgment.
Cheers.
Ooh.
So I get a.
So this is a Chet.
You sure?
This is a Chet.
It smells.
Smells hot.
It smells. I'm not going to say hot.
It
It
don't smell
smells.
hot to me. It smells fruity to me.
No, it smells hot. It smells like it's got a little heat to it.
Okay. I know this.
Wow.
At least a favorite.
It's not absolutely not even close to the nose. Woo!
So is it hot or not?
Oh, it's hot. Palate hot. Nose
So,
sweet.
so here's the truth, and this is just me. This is a clear-cut third place. This one.
I agree.
Now, it doesn't make it bad. It's got a little more spice, which typically I like. However,
It's hot.
when it's got a bitterness to the spice, it stands out as, hey, my number one goal is spice. And to me, I like the spice with the sweet. I'm just speaking on my behalf so far, and I might be cutting myself in the throat because as I'm tasting, as I'm letting it finish, the finish is sweeter than the palate is.
I'd agree with that.
I feel this is almost a clear-cut dry third place out of the 3.
You said the palate is sweeter than the nose?
No, the finish is sweeter than the palate.
I'm going to say the nose is sweeter than the palate.
It is.
It,
But the finish, I find when you taste it, it's hot. But on the back end, it's got a little sweetness.
I want to say when you drink a bottle of this, you try to walk a straight line, you'll get arrested.
oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's
Well, I feel like
it's absolutely third place for me.
I feel like that about
Hands
Kool-Aid
down.
packs. Kool-Aid packs tells me that if I drank a bottle of it and I walked
The
straight
flavor, the taste profile is not horrible. It's hotter than I like. So I'd see something you would drink more often. As a guess, I would say a standard wild turkey. If I had to guess.
you see, I can't give Wild Turkey because I did most of Wild. So number one,
Wild Turkey 46.
I only own 2 or 3 Wild Turkey products.
Maker's Mark. I'm sorry. Maker's Mark.
So
You think
so
that's
look,
Maker's Mark?
Yeah.
I do not like Wild Turkey. For the record,
You
I'm
do?
sorry,
I do.
Wild Turkey. I like Russell's Reserve. I do not like Wild Turkey. So
I don't
I know it's not Wild Turkey.
I think I said Wild Turkey, but Maker's Mark. Is,
I can see it being a Maker's Mark.
So I don't. I'm going to lean towards the Knob Creek.
I'm sorry, shouldn't say that, but I don't.
I don't feel that's a Knob
okay.
Creek.
And
If it is a
yeah,
Knob Creek, it's one I haven't tried. And I'm saying that because most Knob Creeks I've tried have a distinct flavor. Now, that being said, most Knob Creeks I drink without having drank anything else prior. So that can enhance your flavor profile. What I can say, and look, after just taking the last sip, I can't say it's a clear, clean third place. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to re-rinse my mouth, and I'm going to go back and revisit all three. And we're going to try to rank these
We're going to do the
bourbons
same.
according to our likings. I see some penny
I was wrong.
So, guys, here's the reveal. We all picked Maker's Mark Cash Strength as our number one. And truth be told, that doesn't shock me. I've been a big fan of Maker's Mark Cash Strength. This is my 5th or 6th bottle of Maker's Mark Cash Strength. Now, what shocks me is the Penelope. I call it Penelope because of my buddy John right here. The Penelope Private Select 9-year. This bottle is considered to be one of my favorite bottles, and it was a close second. Now, Weller Single Barrel.
Wow.
Here's what I can say. It grew on me the further we went, and the last time I got into this bottle, it was good. But I'm not shocked at all that the Penelope Private Select or the Maker's Cask beat it. Now, I'm speaking from my behalf. I'd like to know what Robb and John think about this.
I'll go next, man. I am very surprised. Maker's Mark, I guessed it. I didn't realize it was that good. That is a pleasant surprise. Penelope or Weller's behind it is surprising to me. I never would have guessed that. Which is point proven to your conversation earlier. Blind tasting absolutely shows you what your preference is versus what's good and what's not.
Right.
So,
Yep. And I agree. So, not knowing what you're seeing, you have a different perspective on what you're drinking. So, I would have never guessed Maker's Mark would have even been in any of these glasses. But I do know it's number one. I will recommend you buy that bottle. Number two,
better than that, I will guarantee you I will buy that bottle for myself.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Number two, I did guess it was a Penelope product, not the toasted. I was thinking Valencia.
Well, that's not toasted. That's Private Select.
Private Select. I'm sorry. Private Select. I thought it was Valencia. It wasn't. It's Private Select. Glad to know that I could taste the Penelope. This right here, the Wellers, no clue. Not at all. If I would have known what I was drinking, I would have rated this number one. Sucks that it came out number 3. But that goes to show you that not seeing it, not knowing what you're drinking, and you're going off of just smell and taste, goes to show you what order they come out in.
So this is why we do this, guys. Despite the cost, despite the name brand, look, we all love Buffalo Trace. We all love Weller's. We all love Eagle Rare. But here's the facts. When you don't know what it costs, when you don't know the name, when you don't know what it is, all you can judge it by is what you like. And the fact is, the three of us decided that Maker's Cash Strength came out first on top of Penelope Private Select and Weller Single Barrel. My apologies. Now, that being said, we never said that any of the 3 bottles are bad. What we can tell you is, if you were trying the 3 together,
So I've always been I'm a newbie. I'll say that compared to some of these guys, especially this guy. I was surprised. I really was, because Maker's Mark is known as a generally lower quality,
a generic bourbon.
Right.
Which proves to me that this is the best way to test what you really like versus what somebody else says.
We agree.
Because we spoke on this behind the scenes, just at parties or whatever. Eagle Rare is one of my favorites, hands down. But I would be interested to put an Eagle Rare into this tasting to see and not see the bottle, taste it and see where it really compares. Because if you told me Maker's Mark would be one that I would pick out, I probably would have laughed at you. But now
So would I.
Yeah. Over these two, there's no way.
Yep.
But
And
I will buy this. I will buy this.
Having drank all 3 of them on a regular basis, What I can tell you is I personally enjoy all three.
Sure.
John and I sat down a couple weeks ago and we got back into that single barrel and said, holy shit, this is incredible. We shot some episodes and looked at this bottle as our startup bottle, the Penelope Private Select, and said, man, this is incredible. It's been a while since we got into the Maker's Cask. What I can tell you is I thoroughly enjoyed all three bottles. However, I agree with the both of you. I don't think that there's ever a time I would have said that the Maker's Cask was better than these two bottles.
Never.
But that's why we do this. So will we all agree that this was what I would like to call a lesson learned?
Eye-opening experience.
Eye-opening experience. So guys, this has been Bourbon Budz blind tasting extravaganza. And what we want you to know is, if you didn't know, you better ask somebody. That Maker's Cask strength is where it's at. And by the way, if you're looking for a good bourbon,
Yep.
Maker's Cask, Penelope Private Select,
Yeah.
Weller's Single Barrel, you can't go wrong in any direction. But if you picking, that Maker's is where it's at.
Absolutely.
Until next time, guys, we appreciate you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. And in the famous words of Chet, you can't find out.
You
Fuck
fuck
around.
around.
Bam.
to push away.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Can of corn. Can of corn.
Spicy.
It's spicy. All right, guys. So being we're doing this blind, I want you to notice. I don't know What's up, guys? On today's episode of Bourbon Budz, we're going to do a blind tasting. And you know, as much as we do reviews, blind tastings are our favorites. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
10.
A 10!
I give it a 10. Actually, you the one that turned me on to Willie.
He turned you on.
I do
Don't
most.
make
I
it
do
weird,
most.
Chet.
I do
Don't
most.
make it weird,
I do
all right?
most. You're feeling better.
Disclaimer, Mr. John might have a load on. And it's okay. It's okay because,
Perfectly
you know, we don't drink bourbon not to get drunk. We drink bourbon to get drunk.
Hey, best kept secrets are told when you're drunk.
What he's trying to tell you guys is he
I'm going to
loves
tell
you.
the truth when I'm drunk.
He loves you immensely. And he wants you guys to know that if he had to invite anybody to his parents' house, it would be all of you.
And my parents would not like half of you. Knowing this now,
my Lord.
it's
We doing a
safe to
blooper.
say that you really have no idea
No
what
idea.
the hell you drinking
That's right.
or what you tasted until you do. Every bourbon has its flavor.
That's it. And you're fucked
Just
up
like,
if you believe shit you know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm probably gonna make another pour.
Christ.
Give the guitar.
Yeah, I'd be better off.
Yeah.
Alright, so